Does the ends meet the needs? Now, I know that sounds wrong, but I had to rephrase it to give it what we really needed.
Okay.
Now that this is an everyday aspect of our lives, can we make this a sustainable thing and make it beneficial for both genders? Since we're not having relationships and the new norm is situationships, can we build upon that? Can we make a new culture on just being open-ended in every relationship, moving back and forth between? We can't call it poly because poly even has rules.
Right.
But this is...
We already have. That's the culture we live in. Like,
No, it's not everywhere. I think that's just it's a mainstay for a certain age demographic. It's not something that everyone is partaking in. I'm saying, can we make this a cultural thing and normalize it?
it's never going to be normalized culturally because there are cultures that...
No, I mean in our culture.
Oh,
I don't speak to other people's
Understood.
culture because other
Understood.
people's cultures,
Understood.
they're doing things differently.
I would hate to see that. Regardless of what you asking me, I would hate to see that. Since I had a kid, I take relationships a little bit more seriously. I don't mind being in a situationship. I just like to know what's going on. That's my thing. But I would hate to see this become normalized because
The repercussions?
the emotional effect that it has on whoever the person is in the relationship that's more committed than the other one. It never ends well. I remember a day where like you could date somebody and y'all could talk and be like, listen, this just isn't working, but you still cool people, and y'all could go on later on down the line and be friends. I feel like this is ruining what it is to really have a real relationship with somebody. Because again, going back to the last thing we just discussed, somebody's going to always be more into it than the other person. Somebody's going to come out of this getting their feelings hurt. Somebody's going to come out of this feeling like they got the short end of the stick. And I don't know. I feel like people should date people that have the same, like if you dating somebody and you tell them, I'm not looking to date exclusively, and they say, okay, well, I am, there's no reason the two of y'all should continue to date, period.
Do you think maybe it's the effort you're putting into these situationships that make it the way that it is? If the situationship was to be a wham bam thank you ma'am, as opposed to he has to be on my level or she has to cook, clean, so on and so forth. If you didn't make people bring things to a table so that you could establish a quasi relationship, would it not be more beneficial that way? So then the situationship could actually be a culture. Because you wouldn't get your feelings hurt if you was eating at 7 different tables every day of the week.
Well, the problem with most situationships, and one thing I see, is just the lack of communication, to be completely honest.
I think it's the communication is you're doing too much for one another. Let's say it like this. If you're in a situationship, you probably shouldn't live together. You shouldn't be in the same apartment.
Absolutely not.
And you probably shouldn't be paying rent for each other. That wouldn't work.
You probably shouldn't even be hanging out every freaking day.
Exactly, because you're building a connection.
Exactly.
So it's not the communication, it's the connection. If you don't have a connection, it's easy to walk away.
A lot of people's words and their actions don't match up.
Exactly.
You can't tell me that you don't want to be in an exclusive relationship with me, but you think I'm finna talk to you every single day. You can't tell me that you don't want to be in an exclusive relationship with me and think, even if you, because jealousy is a natural human emotion. Like, even if we're not in a relationship and I see you out with somebody else, naturally I'm going to get jealous. I shouldn't say anything though. It's never my place as your situationship to come to you and be like, oh, I saw you with such and such. We're not talking about that.
Why is it not in your place to be able to say something? Shouldn't anything that you engage in and or...
That's not my business though.
It is your business.
No, it's not. Because when I'm here with you and we doing what we do, if I spend from 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 o'clock in the evening with you, what you do before 12 and what you do after 7 has nothing to do with me. The only thing I ask you for is your undivided attention while I'm here. Obviously, don't be on the phone with other hoes while I'm here, entertaining other things. Other than that, now, is that realistic? Probably not.
Let's just keep it a buck then, okay? If somebody has access to you in your home to your body, they can possibly give you something that you can carry on and give to your children, so on and so forth. Herpes can be passed along through saliva alone. If your kid likes to drink out of the same thing as you, or you're taking a bite of a sandwich and your kid comes and bites
Bite
that
that sandwich. Yep.
they have it. So just the access alone should mean that you have all the rights to request anything that you feel that that is requestable. There should be no such thing as is not my place.
Okay, so let me say this. People are getting smarter. That's one thing I can say. People are getting smarter. They're not smarter than me, but people are getting smarter. And I say that because, again, let's go back to the example. I'm dating you. I see you out with this girl. When I come and I ask you about that girl, I'm not asking in general, I'm not asking from a place of, well, this could affect my health and this and that. The first thing that's on my mind when I'm asking you, are you messing with this girl? Is coming from a place of jealousy. It's coming from a place of, I don't want nobody to have the same access to you that I have. Now, I might say later on sometime in the argument or the discussion, well, I just need to know because this affects my health. But if that was really what I was concerned about, that would have been the first thing I said. And a lot of times that's not it.
Never mind what your first thoughts. It should be all encompassing. Should it not be? Everything.
It should be.
I'm just saying, if I'm in a relationship and I'm taking it seriously, or if I'm not taking it, if I'm in a situationship, if I'm just coming and going, and I know other people have access to you, the dude on the bike who sits on the corner all day, who smokes the doobies with his 7 other friends, and they all smashing that same one chick who be always around.
And some of them eat ass.
Exactly. All of them eat ass.
He said all of them.
All of them are playing Kevin Gates. All of them are enjoying all the sins that you can possibly get into.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping you're protecting you so you can protect me. It's fine. Go have your fun. But if we're doing things and we're not wearing protection and things like that, everything that I ask you should be open, and it shouldn't even have to be a conversation. Because if we're doing something and it's frequent and regular, it shouldn't be. The table should be like, oh, yo, look, this dude comes to my house every day. He pays bills here. I owe him a debt of protection.
Okay.
We call it respectfully cheating in certain circles.
Yeah.
So
I believe in respectful cheating.
Exactly. So, right?
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
You got a point. Yeah.
All right. So.
Yeah.
There should be nothing that it's all encompassing. We should think of the first steps to the last steps. Never mind if it's jealousy or not. You can't control your emotions.
No.
You can regulate how you respond to it, but you cannot control that emotion.
Yeah, you can't.
And if you're having the emotion, it's time to have that conversation where it's
yeah,
I need more than what I'm getting.
Yeah. I agree to an extent.
No, once you have the emotion, you need more because something's not being facilitated. You're missing on something. You're willingly taking something away from yourself so that you can fit into someone else's personal puzzle.
I agree with that statement.
All right.
I agree with that statement.